Okay, thought our guys played well in all three phases against Cal Berkeley. Reggie Dunn obviously provided a big spark. Seems that when Cal would start to get a little something going, he came out and twice took the kickoff back for a touchdown, which really reversed the momentum and put it back in our favor both times and gave us a big lift. And that was good to see. Offense seemed to play with a rhythm, more so than we have at any point this season. Had some good things going on in the run game. John White, Kelvin York both ran effectively, close to 200 yards rushing. Thought Travis took another step forward, did a nice job running the offense. Defensively, we played well in stretches, had some points in time where we were not so good, didn't start off very good, a little soft against the run, and then we got a little sloppy at the end, but in between it was pretty good. I thought the corners played exceptionally well, particularly Ryan Lacey. I thought he had an excellent game, probably his best game as a Ute. And so a lot of positives to draw upon. Got to hopefully use this as something to build on going into Washington State. They come in here this weekend. Again, we get to play at home, which is a positive. Very appreciative of our fans. I want to make sure I mention that. We're going through a tough skid there, and they support never wavered. Sold out stadium, and it was a great atmosphere, and very, very again appreciative for the support our fans have shown our players all season long. So questions?
All right, questions? There you go.
Anything you can give us, any updates you can give us on Kelvin York?
No, we don't talk injuries ever, so that'll never change.
Okay,
Never say never.
without the update on Kelvin York, do you move forward with John White and Jarrell Oliver this week?
Well, we'll see what happens if Kelvin's available, then we'll move forward with Kelvin, and if he's not, then it'll be either Jarrell or Lucky. Lucky is right there neck and neck with Jarrell, and so we feel that either one of those backs would be very capable. Carl Williams as well, he's a guy that is in that mix.
Questions?
Did John White have an extra gear or do something different than he had been doing the rest of the season? Did he play differently?
Well, I thought he played exceptionally well Saturday in his best game of the season. Ran much more like he did last year, more violence, more finish with the runs. And, I think it's a product of a couple things. We've talked about his not being 100% for that middle stretch of the season, early to middle stretch, and he's now, I guess you could say, back in form like he was last year. And we need that to continue. Obviously the 100-yard mark for him has been a positive for us as far as translating into wins, and that was the case against Saturday. So hopefully down this stretch, these next 4 games, he'll be able to give the lift to the team that he was able to do last year.
Do you feel like Brian Johnson was more effective on the sidelines as a coordinator?
It seemed to be something that was a positive for us, and we made the move with just those hopes in mind that he would provide a little more energy and be able to have a direct link with Travis, look him in the eye between series, and better communication. You can talk to someone on the headphones, but it's not quite the same as being there face to face, and so it's give and take. Though you lose a little bit of a vantage point with your coordinator being down, but fortunately we have Aaron Roderick, who has experience being in the box as a coordinator, and is a good set of eyes for Brian up there. But moving forward, we anticipate leaving it the same way, and don't anticipate that changing unless we run into a reason to take another look at it.
Kyle, can you talk about your relationship with Mike Leach a little bit? I know he's been to practice here before. And
Yeah.
How long you've known him, and what do you expect Saturday?
Quite a while. I go back quite a ways with Mike, and I would consider him a good friend. He's got a lot of family in town. Mostly his wife's family is from the area, and so they spend some time down here. And whenever he comes down, we try to get together. But got a lot of respect for him as a football coach, and he's a guy that certainly knows the passing game as well or better than anybody in the country.
Sorry to jump back on you a little bit, Coach, but I've been expecting this team to come together all year. Get rid of the mistakes, get things going, and they did that against Cal. Put up 49 points. Now Cal got some late points, but I think it was more of a beatdown, in my opinion, than what the score even showed. How do you get things to come together like that? How do you maintain that unity where all three, special teams, defense, and offense, are working together?
Well, I think it's a product of sticking with what you believe in, not panicking, not making wholesale changes, and believing in what you're doing. And the players believe, the coaches believe, everyone's bought in, and like I said, just staying the course, I guess, is the best way to put it, and not being too disruptive. And as soon as you make wholesale changes, and everyone's, well, what, why were we doing this other stuff in the first place, and that type of deal. And so I think that it's a product of that, as well as a great senior class that makes sure that things get done the right way, and will not allow the team to fragment, I guess you could say.
And then can you talk to me about Ryan Lacey and his job on Keenan? When you went back and looked at the film, graded him out, it just looked like he had a great game.
Outstanding. Yeah, he played very well, and was obviously in the right frame of mind for this football game. Not that Ryan's in the wrong frame of mind ever. He's a competitive kid. But that receiver, in my estimation, is #1 draft choice, first-round draft choice, and certainly first-day draft choice. And that was a great job by Ryan, and he drew Keenan a lot of the time during the course of the game and really did an outstanding job in coverage.
Questions?
Kyle, probably not keeping track, but this is your 100th game as a head coach, so I just wanted to ask, with this higher level of competition in the Pac-12, I mean, when you come to the office on a daily basis, does your job feel different, or it just, how would you analyze it?
Football is football, regardless of what conference you're in, but we're all aware that the bar has been raised tremendously in virtually every area, and that's a good thing. It's competitive, and that, as a coach and as a player, you want to compete with the best, and so yeah, it does feel a little bit different, but it's a good thing overall, I believe.
Did you guys adjust your play calling in the red zone from the Oregon State game to the Cal game?
We did. We decided to maybe be a little more direct and downhill, with the run game, and give it to the backs and let them hammer it in there rather than try to get to the perimeter or throw the ball. Now, it wasn't 100%. We did have a street sweep that we ran down there with Drez that was effective for us and netted it first down. Didn't get a touchdown, but got us a first down. But a little more of a smash mouth approach, a little more, okay, we're down here, we're going to run the ball now, stop us mentality, which I think was effective for us.
Coach, can you talk about the two quarterbacks of Washington State and what you expect to see?
Yeah, good players. They both they've almost had the exact amount of attempts. Each guy's played very, very similar snaps. Toole is the older one that I think is a junior this year, and has actually got a little better efficiency rating than Halliday. Halliday's, I believe, the guy we saw last year, but they both played. They both had their moments. And we've got to be ready. And this is 1 week. It's a little bit of a departure. Most every other week of the season is stop the run and then work your way to the pass. But this week is different. It's pass first, and they're doing a nice job with the throw game. They're second in the Pac-12 throwing the football yards per game, and so it's a little different approach for our defense this year. A lot different approach this week than it is virtually every other week of the season.
Coach, you say John White's getting back up to form. How many carries do you want to see him out of the next couple of weeks, and just what kind of emphasis are you putting on the run game?
Well, I don't know if we can put a number on it. I think that is not partially affected, a lot affected by Kelvin. If Kelvin's available, then those carries become a little more evenly split, as we talked about last week. But if Kelvin's not there, then John may have to pack the ball 30 times in a game or two. We'll see what happens, but we know he's capable of it. We know his track record, and that it's not something that he can't handle, because he's handled it in the past.
Questions? Sorry. What do you attribute the rhythm of the offense to? Why was it so good this week?
Well, I had an outstanding week of practice, like I said, but that's not new. That's something that's been the case for the entire season. We streamlined the package a little bit. It wasn't as voluminous as it's been in weeks past, and honed in on a few concepts and really hammered those rather than have as much offense available to us. We had a little bit less,